Uh, Question number 7, 8.3 exercise. Given is that P minus Q is small when compared with P or Q. So we will assume here that P minus Q, this difference is small. Small value is represented by delta x, delta y, h, used in mathematics to denote small quantity. So P minus Q is a small, means h, or it can be written P is equal to Q plus h. We know that on right hand side Q will be positive. And now we begin from left hand side. We simplify and want to reach right hand side. This is 2n plus 1p plus 2n minus 1q divided by 2n, substitute value of p, 2n plus 1. What is p? P is q plus h plus 2n minus 1q. Q is q, q remains q, divided by 2n minus 1 q plus h is the value of p. P is q plus h, in place of p value is substituted. Then 2n plus 1 q, q remains q. Now dear students, we are going to simplify it and becomes 2nh and plus q plus h plus this multiplied by this distributive property is used, 2nq minus q divided by product of denominator values and sum. 2nq it will be 2nq plus 2nh minus q minus h. Then here 2nq plus q. We can see q is cancelled in both numerator, denominator, and rest of values we will write. 2nq will make 4nq plus 2nh plus h divided by 2nq make 4nq plus 2nh minus h. And now we will take 4nq common. So if we take 4nq common from both numerator, denominator, what will we have? By taking common from numerator 4nq, we will have 1 plus 2nh by 4nq plus h by 4nq divided by 4nq common from denominator also. It is 1 plus 2nh by 4nq minus h by 4nq. Denominator, numerator, this 4nq is cancelled. Now we write them together. We write these two values together. How can we write this as numerator value? 1 plus this will be cancelled, h by 2q it becomes, plus h by 4nq, and values with it are okay, this is 1 plus, it is simplified as h by 2q minus h by 4nq. Its power will be minus 1. Now it will be expanded. We write it same unchanged. We write this unchanged. 1 plus h by 2q plus h by 4nq, and then we expand it. How will we expand? 1 plus x raised to power n is written as 1 plus nx. 1 plus nx we have to write. And then rest of the values, we know that it has infinite values because of minus 1 power. We will have here approximation sign, and this will be equal. We don't reduce anything, it will be approximate. And we have to write the reason here that h square and higher powers are neglected. So this is equal to 1 plus h by 2q plus h by 4nq. Here it will be 1 minus h by 2q minus it becomes plus h by 4nq. And now we multiply them. We will multiply them and we can see that h square will be created, h square will be neglected. Because of that there will be approximation sign here. 1 multiplied by all these is 1 minus h by 2q plus h by 4nq. These all multiply by 1. Now this is multiplied by first is h by 2q. This multiplied by second h square neglected. This multiplied by this h square neglected. This multiplied by first is h by 4nq. And we see that this multiplied, second multiplied by second, third multiplied by second will be h square, third multiplied by third will be h square and neglected. Because of that it is approximation and we mentioned that h square terms are neglected. H square terms are neglected here and this is now equal. These two cancelled. This is equal to itself. 1 minus, we can see h by 4 and q, h by 4 and q. These are 2 times h by 4 and q. 2 times h by 4 and q, this 2 cancels it, it becomes 2 and now we rewrite it in a different form. How? 1 minus, we write 1 by n in the beginning and h by 2q here. Then we consider it 1 plus nx. 1 plus nx, we can see that these two are positive, so this will be positive sign. 1 plus nx is closed as, when we close it, in the form 1 plus x raised to power n, h by 2q raised to power n, n is this, 1 by n acts as n here. We take LCM, 1 plus LCM is 2q, it is 2q plus h raised to power 1 by n. Value of h is p minus q by 2q power 1 by n, and then it will be 2q minus q will be q, so we can see p plus q by 2q whole power 1 by n here. So left hand side, hence we write this the conclusion, 2n plus 1 p, 2n minus 1 q divided by 2n minus 1 p, 2n plus 1q is approximately equal to this final form, p plus q by 2q, as we used many times approximation sign in the middle also. Here is the approximation sign. So this is because h square and higher powers are included. H square and higher powers are included this time. So due to this approximation sign, we write left hand side is approximately equal to right hand side and it completes the proof.